Hello, in this video I'm going to be looking at Trent Paschal. He's a 48-year-old man who's accused of murdering his 30-year-old wife, Savanna. This happened in Texas on the 21st of October, and apparently, according to what I've read in the media, the neighbours didn't ever notice them arguing until that day when they'd heard them having this huge argument. And one of these articles said that Savanna had then gone to her neighbour for help. Ironically, Savanna had posted on Facebook to raise funds for a domestic violence shelter just 2 weeks before she died. Savanna's mother was with her when she returned home, and according to her mother, they went upstairs and Trent was hiding in the bathroom of the master bedroom. So he was hiding in the shower. And so he got out of the shower and he had a gun and he said he was going to shoot them both. But the mother managed to escape and she went to a neighbour next door. Trent had left the house by the time Savanna's mum came back to see if she was alive. And she was lying bleeding on the floor. She went to hospital but died there. And Trent escaped in his car and the police found him in a Walmart car park. He was aiming a gun at them, he wouldn't put it away, and so they shot him. And he's now, at the time of making this video, he's now in hospital in a serious but stable condition. Some articles are saying that he shot Savanna before making this video and that he's now apologising on the video for what he's just done. But I think that's unlikely because he apparently fled the scene after shooting her and he went to the Walmart. So I think it's more likely that he made the video before shooting her. During the video, he says he's getting distracted because he's looking at security footage.
Sorry, I keep looking at the cameras. I don't know how much time I have.
And then at the end, he very suddenly rushes away. He's moving through a room that looks like it could be a bedroom. You can see some little LED lights that look like fairy lights. And then he goes into a room that I think is the bathroom. And at the very end, we hear what sounds to me like a shower curtain closing. So I think he made this video before shooting her. I'm going to look at his video in detail because I think it's a great example of a very extreme sense of entitlement.
I'm recording this because I want my daughter to know that I love you, Trent Paschal. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me.
He knows his daughter is going to see this after he's killed her mother, so that's why he's saying sorry and talking about it like it's in the past tense. But he's clearly not sorry because he's just about to do it. It seems that he's used to acting.
And William, I love you too. I love you so much. I love you like you're my own. I didn't choose this. Your mom chose this. She's been cheating on me for a long time. I have audio of her talking to other guys.
This is all his mother's choice. You know, she's decided that this is what he's going to do. He's going to kill her, as if she was conscious of what he was about to do and wanted this to happen, as if he was forced into this. So this is how he's playing the victim.
I didn't do nothing wrong to her. When we first got together, I told her, "You're too young for me." There's an 18-year-old difference in her age, and I knew she was kind of too young, but she's been playing me for a fool. I told her not to mess with me, not to mess with my emotions. Don't play with me. I got an audio where she was calling a guy yesterday on her way to get her eyelashes done, and she said, "Hey, baby," and he goes, "Hey," and I was like, "That's not my voice." Why is she calling somebody else baby?
So presumably he wasn't in the car. He somehow found a way to listen in to the phone calls she made and to record them.
Then she started talking about a dream and everything, and she had with them too about sex and everything. And I put everything into this relationship. I have done nothing to your mom. I've never hit her. I've never hurt her. I've never called her names. A couple of times when I got really mad, I would say a bad word or something, but I've done everything I can.
She might believe him at this age, you know, but she's going to grow up and she's going to be able to see what he's doing. But he's putting this video out for all of the public to see as well on YouTube. And he seems to think that he's going to convince someone.
I haven't done anything wrong.
His voice sounds quite real. You know, if we couldn't see him and we could only hear him, we might think he was crying. And a sociopath will copy people. You know, they'll try to connect with people in the same way as other people do, but because they don't feel empathy and because their focus is only on themselves, they can't connect with people when they're being themselves. So they copy how other people do it.
I'm like, why me? My hair's a mess and I look horrible. Oh, sorry. Take these off.
He's distracted by how he looks in the camera. So although he's pretending to have this big emotional outburst, we know that there are no tears. And we can now see that if he's distracted so easily, there was nothing in it. You know, there's nothing real there. His focus is just on appearances. So now it's on his physical appearance, and just earlier it was on how he was coming across, how he was appearing to behave.
I love you, Mackenzie. I love you so much. Please do something good with your life. Please do something really good, because you deserve a good life.
He says this like he means it, and I think that's a sign that he thinks it's, you know, that he's a good person and he's saying a nice thing. And he doesn't see the irony in saying this when he's just about to murder her mother. Because I think if he did see that irony, he wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. You know, I mean, it would be all over his face. He'd be looking really embarrassed or ashamed at the very least. So I think that's again a sign of entitlement to the point where it's making him blind to himself.
And I don't know what else to say. I'm so sorry I don't have better words right now. I'm hurting so bad. I don't know what else to do anymore. I didn't do nothing wrong to her. I provided what I could. I've done what I could for her. I've done nothing but good for her. And I've treated y'all good. I've done good things for y'all. And I don't know what else to say. I love you, Mackenzie. I love you so much.
I think this video is about him getting validation and narcissistic supply from his daughter. Him wanting her to grow up thinking he did the right thing and having good feelings towards him.
Do something good with your life. Make me proud. Make me very proud.
I think it's likely that at this point he'd already decided he was probably going to die, that if the police came after him, he would point the gun at them until they shot him. So presumably he wanted to be in control of that. He seems like a very controlling person. Because he thought he was going to die, that would mean that he wouldn't be around for his daughter to express this love to him that he's hoping what he says is going to evoke in her. So he's not going to be around to receive that, and he's not going to be there to see how successful she is. So what he's doing is he's using his imagination and he's getting narcissistic supply from what he's imagining. So we've seen lots of examples of entitlement in this video, that he feels entitled to kill his wife because she's interested in someone else and she's talking to the person that she's presumably interested in. That's assuming he's got this right and she wasn't just talking to a friend. And so he feels, therefore, he's entitled to take her life. And he also feels entitled to leave this message for his daughter, to tell his daughter that he's doing the right thing and her mother deserved it, telling her to do well with herself and make him proud. Again, there's a lot of entitlement in that, considering what he's just done or what he's just about to do. He aimed his gun at police because he knows that he would go to jail for doing this. So he knows how wrong it's supposed to be. He just doesn't feel it is wrong for him because he's different in his mind to everyone else. He also showed entitlement when he was recording his wife's phone. So I think using such an extreme example of a sense of entitlement is useful in seeing just how blinded someone can be to themselves. He's not self-aware because he's so sure that he's special.
But I've never done anything like, I don't know, I was going back. My mind is everywhere. I can't concentrate right now. Anyways, Mom, I love you so much. You're my angel. I love you.
He can't see himself for who he is. He can't see how monstrous he is, because if he really could, then he would feel too ashamed to have made this video for his daughter.
Anyways, Mom, I love you so much. You're my angel. I love you. You mean everything to me. And Dad, you've done a lot for me too. And you've taken care of me. You raised me good. You've done whatever you could. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you so much. You love me like your own.
Someone who's being targeted by an entitled person can be equally blind. So in other words, because they have experienced this before, usually in childhood as well, they will have experienced some kind of abuse or neglect. They've decided that there's something worthless about them. And so when somebody is behaving in an entitled manner towards them and disrespecting them, they can believe that that's because that person can see the worthlessness in them and that they are treating them this way because they can see that they aren't as good as other people. If you find yourself getting abused by people, try to consider that the person who's behaving like this is deluded. And that's why they're treating you in that way. Because entitlement is a delusion, you know, it's this deluded belief that you are special, unique, and superior to other people. And so you are allowed to behave differently from everyone else. So I'm going to leave it here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.